Good morning, shockers. Happy Tuesday. So, today's episode, we're just going to recap kind of savoring life's joys, past, present, and future. But before we get into that, in case no one has told you yet today, I am proud of you. I just want to say that I'm really proud of everybody for sticking with this year, sticking with this semester. Good luck on the rest of your finals. You're in the last leg of this semester. You can do it. I know it seems stressful. I know things seem a little crazy, but you got this. Keep going. Take your time. Make sure to practice self-care. And let's get into today's episode. So, savoring life's joys. It might be a little bit stressful to think of that during this time. Again, like I said, finals, end of the semester, definitely not a time where you're trying to savor anything besides getting done with the semester, right? Getting finals and classes finished so you can go on winter break. But sometimes we will forget how important it is to savor moments in life, right? To savor and remember the past, right? In terms of memories. Maybe you have memories of a holiday with your family or with your friends, a trip that you guys took. Maybe it's something that you and your dog did. Piper and I were always going to dog parks, and I've got a lot of great memories of us just kind of exploring Wichita, right? So take some time, when you're reflecting on break, when you're taking some of that downtime, or when you're kind of struggling with COVID, right? Being stuck inside, still quarantining, maybe you're not able to see friends and family back home. And so being able to savor life's joys in the past can kind of help with that and help some of that coping. So thinking of those happy times and going, you know what? I miss those times. And we had such a great time last time at grandma's house for Thanksgiving. We didn't get to do it this year, but man, we still got to talk to everybody over the phone. It was a little different, but I'm excited for when I get to see them in person, right? So sometimes taking the time, especially when we're stuck inside and we can't go places, to remember those past times before COVID, right? Post or pre quarantine times, where things were kind of normal, right? Quote unquote. And so don't feel bad about remembering those times and saying, oh man, I loved, getting out, being able to play football with the guys, or going out and getting our nails done with the girls. Obviously mine need to be done. But some of those things we had to put on hold, right? We had to put on hold for our safety and the safety of others. We had to put on hold, maybe because we didn't have the finances at the time, jobs and buildings closed. And so sometimes just remembering those times in the past and knowing that that will come back. And you're going to be so excited just as you were then, as you will be when you're able to be back in person, going, getting your nails done, hanging out with friends and family. And so take some time when you are kind of reflecting and having some downtime over the break and just kind of feeling a little bummed like it's not the same. Remember those past joys in life, those past memories, those times where you had a really great time. And know that they'll come back, right? And we'll get to that future part in a second. But just know that those times will come back. It's different now. It's a little bit challenging. We're all having to adjust, but it's not going to stay this way forever. And so thinking about things in the past can also help us to live and be present in, well, the present moment, right? So savoring life's joys in the present. Now, some of this goes back to previous episodes that we've done, right? SMART goals, meditation, exercise. I think we did an episode of living in the present moment, right? So a lot of times with our hustle and bustle of life, whether you're full-time or a part-time student, whether you're a parent or not, even with fur babies, right? Life just really gets overwhelming. I think we can all agree that there are times where we're just on go mode and it's just kind of automatic stuff, right? Like we don't even think about needing to switch gears, right? We just do it. And sometimes when life becomes so automated like that, we forget to savor and take a look at things around us, right? Like Tara was saying, if you go on a walk, smell the fresh air, right? When was the last time you just really was like, wow, like smell the crispness of fall. Maybe have smell the flowers. Maybe you're smelling life in the city. Maybe you're smelling life in the countryside, right? Take a moment to really be in the present. Look around you. What's going on, right? A lot of cars, busy traffic, lots of people out walking their dogs. Maybe you're just sitting and looking out the window, right at the trees, the leaves changing. Some of them still have some leaves. Or the houses, on my walks, I've actually recently, typically I walk with headphones in. This is just a little off topic here. Typically I walk with headphones in. I'm listening to music and I'm walking. Well, recently I decided, I'm always on my phone. I'm always on my computer. I'm always on my TV playing games. I need to take a break just for my ears, for my eyes, for my brain, right? And so I've started going on walks, just keeping my phone in my pocket. So that's there just in case emergencies, but I don't listen to any music. I don't look at it. And I've just been looking at houses. The architecture is so cool, and you can notice it in different parts of the blocks. Different, you can go to the west side, east side, north side, and it's all different. And even within some of those neighborhoods, it's, it can be different, the type of styles of houses. And you can see how, oh, they went with the bungalow style and then they threw a colonial style house in, so when you're in the present moment, take a breather, take a breath, right? Give yourself a little bit of a break from the studying, give yourself a little bit of a break from the homework, from the finals, and take a moment, whatever you do, whether it's taking a walk, whether it's playing games with a friend, whether it's playing with your animal, whether it's spending time with your kids or baking, try to really be in the present moment of it, right? And really savor that moment that you have. Savor that break, savor that walk. Look around you, look at all the things that you can smell, you can hear. Utilize those five senses. When was the last time, we're always using our senses, right? CYA here, we're always using our senses. They're always there. But when was the last time you truly noticed them, took inventory of them, really saw the surroundings, right? Things around you. And so when you're talking about savoring life's joys in the present, really kind of what that means is just being in the present moment, right? Just really taking the time to say, okay, I know I have a lot going on. This is a busy time of year, but I can still take time for myself. I can still see the ups and the downs and experience all of those. Experience the emotions. Experience the ups and downs of life. Because sometimes those down times, even when people say, well, I don't want to think about the down, times when I was down or feeling sad, it's like, yeah, those are hard. No one wants to feel that way, right? But if anybody has seen the movie Inside Out, great movie to see. A kid's movie, but also not a kid's movie. Sometimes those moments where we're down are also sometimes those moments where there's happiness, and we forget about that. For example, in the movie, there's joy and then there's sadness, and they kind of get off together. And sadness was like, oh, I remember this day because we lost the game, and I just felt really bad. And then joy was like, what do you mean? Our friends came over and they laughed and all this stuff. And when they looked at the memory, right, kind of looking back at the past, when they looked at the memory, yes, she did lose the game and she was sitting on the tree and she was really sad. She was bummed. But then her friends came over and they were like, it's just a game. Let's go, come with us, come have fun. You did great, right? And then that's where the joy came in. So sometimes remember, when we're having those ups and downs, when we're having our highs and our lows, sometimes our lows are there to help us appreciate and understand how important those highs are, how important that happiness is. And so even when you're living in the present moment and you're like, my present moment right now kind of sucks. I'm kind of sad, I'm angry, I'm mad, whatever the case may be. Remember, it doesn't last forever. And I'm sure if you were to really experience the present moment and really look at the things around you, that you would say, oh, My friend sent me a really funny meme today, and that really made me laugh. And it may be a small part in your day, but that was a joyous occasion, right? That was something that made you smile, that made you laugh. I think to live in the present moment, we don't always need to be happy all the time. Savoring life's joys is just being grateful that we're here and saying, being a human, existing, living, it's not easy. And it has ups and downs, but it's also filled with so many joys, so many wonders of nature, of life, so many dreams, so many friends and family. Even just a simple smile or a laughter can can really change your day. And even if you're like, I really only, had this one smile and it was early this morning when I had coffee, like, that's okay. Remember that, savor that, and go, you know what? That shows that I might have a rough morning, but I still smiled. I still laughed. I still enjoyed myself and got to have a moment with my coffee. So think about that when you're like hitting that rut in the middle of the day or it's near the end of the day and you're like, I'm just so tired. Just remember, you've got this. You can do this. You were happy this morning. And, no one's expected to be happy 24/7. I'm not happy 24/7, but I remember the times that I am and I go, okay, I can bring those back. Or, okay, this is a low moment now, but I remember in the past, I was just savoring a really good moment. And so that moment will come back, right? So don't forget about that when you are living in the present moment, when you are trying to savor life's joy. And just, sometimes you just got to take a little bit of a break, right? So that kind of leads us into the future, right? So what do we mean when we're talking about savoring life's joy in the future? Obviously, it's good to just stay in the present. You don't want to live in the past. You don't want to live in the future, but there's a healthy balance where you kind of go between them, right? You're in the present, but you go to the past and you go to the future. And what I want people to remember is when you're savoring life's joy, and maybe you look in the past and you go, man, I really miss this time with friends and family. And then you're in the present and you go, I know it's hard, but I'm enjoying myself. I'm healthy. My family, my friends are healthy. I've got a job. I've got a roof over my head. Some of those things that just kind of help bring you in the present, but then also knowing that, hey, some of these feelings, some of the experiences, the quarantining that we're experiencing right now won't last forever. And so that's when you can think of the future, right? Think of how excited you're going to be come next Thanksgiving to see family and friends. How much you guys will have to talk about of the craziness that was 2020, right? Or maybe how excited you're going to be when, like, for example, if you're an international student, looking forward to going home, going, man, I'm going to finish these finals so that hopefully I can go home, right? Or something else, like if you're feeling down in the present and you're like, I'm just really having trouble savoring life's joy right now, plan something for the future. I had a student that I worked with, amazing gal, and one of her favorite things to do was to plan birthdays and trips. And so this girl would plan her birthday a year in advance. And it may never, everything she planned may not have happened, but she dreamed big. And she was like, okay, I'm going to go to Vegas for my birthday and we're going to stay at this hotel. And she looked up events. You don't have to get into crazy details, but sometimes it's fun to plan. There is something about like wedding planning, right? Or planning for the holidays. And it's fun, it's exciting, it's engaging for yourself and for others. And so, plan what you want that Thanksgiving to look like when you see family. Plan what you're going to do when you see, your grandparents after so long. Or even if it's like for finals, you're just excited to sleep in. Am I right? I am so excited this winter break to have nothing to do, to sleep in, to wake up at maybe 9 or 10, eat breakfast, and play games, right? Like that's what I'm excited about. And so when you're thinking about the future, sure, plan it out, make a list, plan a vacation that once COVID is over, once quarantine is over, what's a vacation you want to go on with friends or a road trip? But it also doesn't have to be that big. It can also be what are you gonna do for, like a party or a cookout in the summer? Or it can be something as simple as, hey, I'm excited for finals to be over and to be able to sleep in, or maybe to be able to stay up really late, right? And not have to worry about going to school on that Monday. So some of life's joys, whether they be past, present, or future, can be anywhere from super big to super small and anything in between. And that's exactly what I want to let you guys know about when talking about savoring life's joys. Don't feel like they have to be huge things. Don't feel like they have to be super small things, right? A smile, a laugh, sharing a memory with a friend, or sharing a joy that you experienced can help another person feel joy because they like to see you happy and you like to see them happy, and you're both enjoying the time and savoring each other's company, right? Even if we're not able to be in person with our friends and family, Zoom, FaceTime, and savor those moments. Yeah, you're not in person, but you still get to see them. You still get to smile with them, to laugh with them, to plan with them, to dream with them, and to remember with them, right? And so during this time, during this break, after the semester is over, take time to reflect for you. Take time to be in the present moment over this break. Take time to savor life's joys. Take time to plan some things in the future, right? What do you want to do for spring break? Or what do you want to do once the summer and it starts getting warm weather, right? Plan parties, plan trips, plan just your weekend, right? Think about things in the past too. Remember those times. Sometimes when we get in those low moments where, again, you just can't get out of the rut, stress, anxiety, health concerns, both mental and physical health, right? Remember those good times in the past, because not all the time, but that saying that history repeats itself. Those good times, those good memories will come back. You will be able to form new future memories and wonderful things. So stay strong, savor life's joys, live in the present moment, no matter how big or how small. And just take time for you. Self-care over this break. Self-care, and pat yourself on the back. Throw yourself a little celebration, okay, for finishing this semester, for finishing classes, for graduating, whatever it be, no matter how small. And the last thing before we get off into the updates that we have, 3 words I want you guys to remember, okay? Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Self-care, sleeping in, congratulating yourself, giving yourself a pat on the back, right? Treat yourself. And of course, don't go over the top with it, right? Keep it level-headed. You all know what level-headed and what common sense is. You guys know this. But really, I think we do forget sometimes that we got to treat ourselves, regardless how big or small. So let me tell you, my dad's bougie, and he will straight up buy himself flowers. He'll just buy himself some flowers. He'll go to the store. He goes, ooh, those are nice. And he buys himself flowers. So buy yourself flowers. Buy yourself chocolate. Buy yourself a Burger King meal, right? Like, take that time to just say, hey, you know what? I deserve it. I've earned it. I've worked for it. Treat yourself. If you don't do anything else, right? Now, before we wrap it up, I know that this week came a little bit late. We kind of got off. There was some, life happens, right? So don't forget to complete any of the assignments that you guys have in Blackboard. Discussion posts, any of those activities and those worksheets, make sure to check them out and fill them out. We are still going to be having the drawing. There is still going to be the book scholarship. So don't forget, check out those assignments on your Blackboard, get them submitted. I believe you guys will still have some time to get some of those work in, because I know, like I said, we kind of got off on some weeks. So don't worry, you are still in time. So get that stuff submitted. We will be having the drawings still. Stay up to date on the announcements for kind of some more details when that will be and what time, just so that you're aware of it. And take care. Congratulations on finishing this semester. Congratulations on making it through this year, right? We were all in this together, and I'm just so proud of all of you for sticking with it, for staying strong, and for not giving up. Life ain't easy, but it's worth it. And surrounded by friends, family, teachers, faculty, peers, success coaches, whatever it is, you're not alone. And if you look hard enough, there's always somebody in your court, right? There's always someone out there in your team that's got your back. So lean on those people if you need them, and have a wonderful, safe, and enjoyable winter break. And we will see you guys spring 2021. So take care, stay safe out there. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Socially distant, well, physically distance. Stay social with your friends, but physically distance, right? So be safe out there, and we'll see you in the next year.